Yup, that's the Kronshtadt in a nutshell. But anyway, before we hop into gameplay, let me show you my setup on the ship. I have I'm Not the Hood 1, Damage Con 1, the Aiming mod, Damage Con 2, Concealment, and Main Battery mod 3, which gives me like a 16-second reload on these 12-inch guns. Captain's setup is Permanent Maintenance, MLG Turrets, Superintendent, and Concealment. So, after going through my stash of free XP once again, and assaulting my bank account, I now have the Kronshtadt. And definitely right away I can tell you that this ship is very much worth it, unlike the Musashi. Now you'll notice in these videos I'm going to be shooting a lot of AP and not HE. That is because I'm trying to figure out, just the perfect balance of how to play this ship. And there's a Citadel right there. And of course this is, in the game it's a cruiser, but it's very much a battle cruiser, and it's got 12-inch guns and not a whole lot of side armor, but it still has like 72,000 health, so that helps offset that thin side armor pretty well. And it's definitely a odd playstyle, so I'm used to playing battleships. I have a battleship main, of course, and just there's a Citadel right there. And the other battleships in the game are way tankier than this thing. I mean, this thing's tanky, don't get me wrong, but it's no pure battleship. It's very much a battle cruiser. It's got, like I said, 12-inch guns. Its secondaries, you have 8 100mm secondaries, and there's a Citadel in that Zao. And as far as builds for the ship go, I'm still messing around with the builds. I'm not really sure what to put on it because I don't play cruisers a lot, and it's a bit strange, but it's definitely fun. I've had a lot of fun in it. I haven't been doing a whole lot of damage in it. I think the highest I got was like 70k, but like I said, I'm of course trying to figure out what best way to play the ship. The current way I'm trying to play it now is I have a stealth and main battery build on the ship, which gives me, like I said, a 16-second reload time and a 12-kilometer detection range, which is pretty good for a ship with 12-inch guns. You can get really close to some cruisers and battleships before they know you're there. Now, if you catch the sides of a battleship in Kronshtadt, you're going to do a fair amount of damage. I mean, especially considering you're a cruiser, in quotation marks, according to the game. You can easily do 10k salvos on their side armor, even the Germans. And you also get, I have the as far as the consumables go, I have the defensive fire consumable. You have a choice of that or the spotter plane, and radar. I chose the defensive fire over the spotting plane because, one, the dispersion on these guns, it's consistent, but it's, as you can see, it's not really tight, so there's no need to be trying to snipe at over 18 kilometers away, because you simply won't hit too much at that range due to the words are hard, due to the dispersion. So there's no real need for that. And plus, I like playing close in anyway, so I figured I might as well have the defensive fire just in case a carrier tries to sink me. And Kronshtadt doesn't really have that great AA anyway, so it's just a nice little thing to have in case a carrier decides to send some planes your way. Which I played 4 or 5 games in Kronshtadt, and no carrier even messed with me at all, so I don't know. Never got to test it out. And of course the radar, it has an 11-kilometer range, and that is great. It only lasts for, I think, under 20 seconds. So it has a really good range, but it's not that, doesn't last that long. Now, what you're about to see here is a really good showing of how Kronshtadt can work with, it's supposed to work with your team. So it's me and this guy, Jamada, and for some reason all the battleships and cruisers you see behind me just stop because I just radared that whole sea cap and 11 kilometers around my ship, and it's just the Kagero there. And I even tell them in chat, it's just the Kag at sea, let's go. and just the Gajimata follows me, the destroyer whose torpedoes can't actually do anything to the Kaga. It does have like a 3-minute cooldown. I mean, I don't think it's 3 minutes on the dot, but it's around 3 minutes. Oh, you also get a heal, which further emphasizes that this is very much a battleship. You have a cruiser 72,000 health, and then give it a heal on top of that. I mean, I like it, but it's definitely a battleship, both battle cruiser. And you see, I was going to go around the eastern side of the island, but I juked it around the western side of the island because I knew he was going to pop out like that. And come on, turrets. Get some good shots off on him. The Gajimata starts tearing into him, wrecks his engine. Secondary shoot the island there, but unfortunately for the Gajimata, he just gets clipped by a torpedo. Now I'm coming around the side of the island here. I know he just used his torpedoes, so I am in the clear. Now the secondaries, there's not that many of them, but they do their job well enough when anything's within their range, which is 5.5 kilometers without any modifications to them, which these are just base secondaries, and they're pretty good. I'm alright with them. But like I said, there weren't enough of them to really warrant a full secondary build on the Kronshtadt. Now, surprisingly enough, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to get Kronshtadt because I didn't even have a 10-point captain or really any Russian captains to throw in him, at least I thought. And apparently, just sitting in my commander reserve, there's a 10-point captain. I'm not really sure where I got that from, but I had him and I threw him on here, and he didn't even have any points distributed or anything, which makes sense because I don't have any Russian ships besides the Kronshtadt and the October Revolution. And I've been using the commander that I got on the October Revolution, is still on the October Revolution. Bit strange. But anyway, since no one pushed with me, I have to cap this all by my lonesome self. No problem, get some nice XP for that. Now, in terms of how much money this ship is going to cost you, it's going to cost you about the same for the Musashi and the Missouri. It's 750,000 free XP, and then 1 credit after that, which is, I had to convert about $130 worth of XP to purchase this ship. Now, like I've said before, I don't mind paying that much money for a ship in the game if it's truly unique, and Kronshtadt is truly unique. It's not a reskin. It's not the same ship with something else thrown on it. It's not like the Musashi with just it's a Yamato with the secondaries ripped off of it. It's truly a unique ship. And it's a tier 9 premium, and you get a really good economy with the ship. You get really good XP gain, and you get really good credit gain with this ship. And it's very good for that. Throw some economic flags on there, you're going to be rolling in credits in no time. I certainly was. By the time I got done setting up the ship and all, I went from 10 million credits to 1 million credits. By the time I got done playing these matches, I was already back at, I believe, 3 million credits. And that's without doing very well. I was about the middle of the leaderboard in most of these games. And like I said, I'm not really sure exactly how the ship's supposed to be played, when to use HE, when to use AP. And like I said, in these 4 or 5 games, I was just trying to use AP as much as I can, just to see how it works and all that jazz. And I'll probably in the second impressions video, you'll see me using HE more, because the AP does okay. It's just that they are only 12-inch guns, and you're going to be bouncing off of a lot of stuff at tier 9 and 10. That was a near miss right there. So I actually do switch over to HE in this video here in a second, and it does work rather well, but I mean, you'll see why. Yeah, it's a very fun ship. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's got like 35 knots top speed without the speed flag. As someone who is a battleship main, it's quite a nice change up to play a really, really fast battleship with fast reloading guns. Now, you've noticed that I've outrun my turrets a couple times in this video. That is because I'm using the main battery mod 3. That does increase the reload speed, but decreases the turret traverse, so that's why. I'm pretty sure if you don't use that mod, the turrets can't keep up with the ship turning. So as you see here, I'm just loitering around the B cap, and trying to get an angle on this Ismo right here, but I'm not paying attention because there's something right to my right with very large guns, and it sure does see me. Hi, Missouri! Yep, and I was shooting over to HE to try and burn that Ismo, and once I get done reloading, let's give the owl a little boop on the nose. Yep. He was almost dead anyway, so did kind of steal that kill, but you know, whatever. He's dead. And this poor FDG is about to eat a whole load of torpedoes. So anyway, I go ahead and start pushing into the B cap right here. Ooh, goodbye FDG. And it kind of pops off. There goes that cruiser in front of me. I think it's a Buffalo. And oh, hi Cleveland. Boy, I love all the new Clevelands. He just loves selling broadside to you. It's great because you do stuff like that to him. Oh, this ship is great. Pop the radar. There's a Fletcher, but oh crap! There's the island. And this clip may start to look familiar to you because it's a clip from this front of the start of the video. And keep in mind, I do not have the ramming flag on. So he's gonna do his full HP and damage to me. And like I said at the start of the video, Kronshtadt just shrugs it off like it's no big deal. Because it has so much freaking health. Actually, I almost dodged it. I swore he was going in for a torpedo run. He's going to try to torpedo me and the Buffalo right there. And I was trying to get close to him because, you know, you have to be so far away. The torpedoes have to make it so far away from the ship before they arm. It's only like 0.3 kilometers, but, you know, if you can close that gap, they're not going to go off. And it's actually pretty funny what happens here. I accidentally activate my defensive fire because when playing battleships, T is heal. T in the Kronshtadt is defensive fire, and U is heal. But anyway, I probably would have died there anyway. I was in a pretty tough situation. I wasn't sure I don't think I was going to be able to make that turn. But anyway, first impression of the Kronshtadt, it's a fun ship to play. Fast, good concealment. Oh, but it only has an 18-kilometer range, which, like I said, I'm alright with that, simply because I do like to play close in and brawl. And this ship is pretty good for that. I've been finding it overpins a lot, so take that, but it's still really fun, because it overpins a lot, but it's not like overpin like the Roma or the French do. It's still very, very fun to play. But anyway, that's my first impressions of it. It seems like it's worth it so far. The second impressions video will be out in a day or two. And for those of you that don't know how these impressions videos go, first impressions videos go. I don't know why I can't talk today, but anyway, my first impressions video is like the first 4 or 5 games I played in a ship. The second impressions video is after about 20 or so games, and then way down the line, the final impressions video comes out after a pretty good amount of games, because it usually comes out 2-3 weeks later, in which I give my final impressions of the ship, so you get to see my opinion on the ship evolve as it goes. But I have a pretty good feeling about the Kronshtadt. It's most definitely worth your money, you know, because especially after coming off of the Musashi, that's a really big disappointment. But anyway, if you like the video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on a push to 200 subscribers, and we are only 40 away from that. And when we get there, I believe I'm going to do another live stream like I did with the 100 subscriber special, and that was a bunch of fun. Everyone involved seemed to have a really good time with it. But anyway, again, thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.